All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reiterate what we talked about real quick. We were running out of time. We talked about our WWE NXT review. We talked about our AEW Dynamite preview. We also talked about how Ricochet it's better for him to go to All Elite Wrestling with Tony Khan, with his old buddy Will Ospreay, and a couple of New Japan Professional Wrestling guys that he's probably wrestled in the past. So, we are moving on to the pre-women's evolution. We're going to talk about some of this unknown evolution that a lot of people do not give these women too much credit for, but hey, it's cool to shine a light on these women. So let's go ahead and dig right on into it. So, guys, we're talking about the pre-women's evolution in the early 2000s. Women's wrestling was a huge no-no. When I say that, I mean like WWE and the executives in terms of not pointing any fingers or doing anything like that, but just something that I've kind of analyzed, kind of watching documentaries now, watching, past episodes that, they did not want to take the spotlight far from the men's superstars, which, obviously that's what WWE was all about. That's something that's kind of funny that I was, kind of talking about how Piper Niven was kind of joking about it on when in terms of the WWE speed, the 3-minute matches, where it's like, oh, we've been doing 3-minute matches forever, ha 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 he he, and it's true. It's true. Women in wrestling, after the women's revolution, it was obviously something a little different. But once when you had Victoria, Trish Stratus, Mickey James, you had Jacqueline, you had Ivory, you had these superstars, like Lita. Sometimes their matches would be 3 minutes or less. That's terrible. That's absolutely detrimental to any kind of character development that you hope to kind of help this WWE or this wrestler help their career, help to get better. Screw that on WWE or WWF. This could possibly, it was bad. They didn't get, they basically TV time was currency. Basically, they had to do anything to stay on TV. That's the reason why you kind of have those, we don't talk about it. We have those forbidden bra and panty matches, those pillow fight matches. Absolutely. Those mud wrestling matches were absolutely disgusting. And I hated watching them. I'm just, no, okay, no, that's too far. Just kidding. But yeah, no, honestly, these women had a lot of talent as well. So it's absolutely, kind of crazy. There was only a limited amount of divas available, night in and night out. I think at once, I think even Trish Stratus said that there was like maybe 6 to 7 superstars tops. So that was kind of bad. There was if there was, this is something Trish Stratus said in an interview. If there was a women's match, it didn't take long and it included mostly catfighting more than wrestling, which is kind of true. They wanted these guys not to really perform wrestling moves, not to see Lita do moonsaults off the top rope. Mostly, even like some of during the matches, you kind of hear, even Ivory was talking about it in an interview that people didn't really acknowledge their capabilities inside of the ring, shouting puppies, 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 kind of like, the Jerry the King Lawler, kind of skit and stuff like that. Love Jerry the King Lawler, but, kind of, it was kind of bad. It's kind of bad. But no, like, and I don't know, it was crazy. It was kind of sad. It was very, very sad, to be honest. The women in wrestling wanted to show more athletic talent in the WWE. At the same time, they said that's WWE said at the same time that that's not what the crowd wants. So that's not what WWE wants. So there's someone Finn Finley. I'll you see him on the screen right there. My name is Finley, and I love to fight. He took the job, training the divas. It was given to him as a joke, kind of crazy. So he was the one to kind of back these girls up. He was the one to actually kind of teach them how to professional wrestle, how to put on good moves. Because Trish Stratus and I think even Victoria and Lita kind of voiced their frustrations. They're like, "Hey, dude, I don't want to scratch anybody anymore. I don't want to pull hair. I don't want to like try to take off the other one's like top or anything like that. Like we want to actually wrestle. We want to go out there and kick some ass." I think that's what Tori Wilson said as well. Like they want to actually go out there and show that they're capable of wrestling. They, obviously they were watching wrestling their whole entire lives with Mae Young, the Fabulous Moolah, and I think probably most of them, they kind of idolize, a little bit of China as well. But they want to go out there. They want to show why they're such good competitors, why there's great superstars, and I know a lot of them did not have a chance to do that. So that's kind of crazy. And even Fit Finley said in in an interview that the addition of Stephanie McMahon on Monday Night Raw kind of really helped, and I can kind of see that. Stephanie McMahon, obviously, woman, kind of you have to stick with your gals, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to say that to be like, oh, like just because she's a girl doesn't necessarily. It's because she saw potential in these girls. She probably saw them struggle. Absolutely. She probably saw them in their darkest times where they wanted to do more in wrestling. Basically being like, you go up to the creative guy, you go to, I don't know if it was Vince McMahon, I don't know if it was Michael Hayes or Pat Patterson or, Briscoe or whatever. And you're going to be like, hey, I think I'm more than this. I think I'm more than this. I could put on a good match. I could be in the main event. And they'd be like, ha ha ha. And they just laugh in front of your face. So Stephanie McMahon was one of those people in WWE to kind of urge WWE executives to kind of give these women a chance, and they did. They did essentially. Obviously, it took a little more time than usual or than expected, but it was kind of crazy. So during this time, you had Trish Stratus take the lead. Obviously, Trish Stratus is an amazing superstar. I feel like she kind of retired in her prime, her and Lita. But you kind of had to make way for some of these younger. You also had Victoria, Molly Holly, and Lita. You had a hardcore match between Victoria and Trish, and obviously you saw Victoria the victor. Then you had a steel cage match between Lita and Trish Stratus. This kind of opened up the doors that women could be featured in matches like this and actually be in the main event and actually have guys, wrestlers, fans, peers, bosses, like just watching the TV with your eyes glued, which was overall great for professional wrestling. The women had to go out there, fight in a steel cage, show a little blood, and they eventually got what they wanted essentially. So that was pretty cool. WrestleMania 20, something that I kind of thought was, kind of interesting. WrestleMania 20 did not want to feature any women's matches. So Molly Holly basically said, what if I shave my head? What if I shave my head? What if I have a match with Victoria? If I lose this opportunity at the Women's Championship, Victoria can shave my head. That's so like so terrible at the same time, kind of careless, kind of like entertaining as hell. But she did what she had to do to be on the main stage, and that's kind of crazy that that's what you would have to do as a woman to kind of get onto it. And just gonna touch real fast, we had the Diva Search. I remember the Diva Search, much like WWE, kind of partnered up with E Entertainment. You had Total Divas. A lot of these viewers watch the TV shows. They watch these women, these talented women, in this Diva Search. Eventually, a lot of Diva Search participants like Michelle McCool, Layla, Maria Kanellis, Christy Hemme, eventually made their way up to the main roster. It was kind of a great way, Maurice, to kind of put your name, kind of get your foot in the door, so to speak. So, gotta love the Diva Search. It wasn't necessarily as, a lot of people say, it's a little, and I'm not, to all effects, I get it. Could be a little demeaning and stuff like that. The Diva Search was ultimately to kind of help the WWE to have prospects, especially after Trish Stratus retired. And a couple of months later, you had Lita do the same thing. That kind of left the women's division wide open, and it was kind of crazy. Obviously, you saw Beth Phoenix kind of come out of that, Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson, Candice Michelle. You had, a lot of WWE women's champions kind of be brought up from this pre-women's evolution. Obviously, kind of have to give respect to these women. Definitely Trish Stratus, definitely Victoria, definitely all these women. I'm not going to just name a couple of names and be like, oh, these women deserve the most credit. I think they all do. I think they all do 110%. So yeah. Hey guys, do not go anywhere. We are moving on to our fifth and final segment. We're going to talk about Wednesdays of wrestling. What if? We're going to go through, Wednesdays, we're going to start going through some hypotheticals. If, just what if? What if? What if? Today we have what if WCW bought out the WWF/WWE. So hey, do not go